Welcome back. Toto Wolff has joined us. In a minute, we're going to discuss a few things with regards to Nico Rosberg. But first, to do with Lewis Hamilton. He had a gripe out there, and it was because of this. You can see just in the distance there, Adrian Sutil going off. This is Nico and Lewis going past. And the red line you'll be able to see here is the time he would have had for the team to make a call as to whether he should have pitted or not before the safety car was deployed. So 24 seconds that was. This is how it sounded over team radio from Lewis's perspective.
What is the reason you didn't focus the lap before? We should have pitted on that lap. I knew I should have. I also knew you wouldn't pull me in, guys.
Well, Toto, I wonder, if you can counter that. Why didn't you pit him?
Well, I think we have to buy a new tool for the garage, and this is a crystal ball, so we can look into it. I guess his only chance was in overtaking Nico was during the pit stops, and I guess once the safety car came out in our pit window, it was clear that the race was finished. And I guess in Monaco it's always tricky. You see a car coming off. Will you have a safety car or not? We've seen it at the end when I think it was Gutierrez spun off Adras Gas. We would have expected a safety car to come out, but it didn't. So you never know.
But Lewis was in a decent position there. I mean, it happened all in front of him. He would have seen there was quite a lot of debris on the track. So, if he made the call or if he'd asked to come in, would you not have accepted that?
No, because the call is being made by the car who is in front. That is the rule as to per which we operate. And so this was in the heat of the moment, in the intensity of the moment, a certain frustration which came out. It's completely normal.
Okay.
But I mean, it's always a possibility, isn't it, that Lewis could have just said, "I'm coming" in the pits, and you would have changed his tyres, right? You would have given him a new set of tyres if he'd come on the radio and said, "Yeah."
No, it's not the way it happens with us. The driver doesn't make the call himself and decides when he comes in, he's been called in.
Have you had a word with Lewis since then? With his eye, he was just saying there he got something in it. It didn't look particularly good.
Yeah, I didn't speak to him yet, but I think he caught something in his eye in the tunnel or so. He fished it out with his glove. I didn't see the pictures, but somebody told me, and it was okay at the end then.
What about the weekend? How has that been for you? You've had the difficulties of what happened yesterday. Great result for the team. But it must have been pretty stressful, isn't it?
Yeah, Monaco is always pretty exciting. You have lots of partners here and sponsors here, so apart from being on the track, lots of things to do. And then the battle is getting more intensive every weekend. They know they have a car which can deliver a world championship, and I guess this is how it's going to continue.
And how are you going to sort of control everything that's happened this weekend for the future?
The question is, how much do we want to control? I think we owe it to everybody to let them race. And letting them race means this is what the sport is all about, a certain degree of entertainment, a bit more degree of stress for the team.
Good to hear.
Toto, I was going to say, what do you do? Is there a process now? Okay, you've got one very disgruntled driver, and you can probably understand it from Lewis's perspective, and you've got Nico from the other side. It looked like they're not particularly speaking at the moment. A lot of people said that this was always going to happen. Are you going to sit them down as one of the team bosses and say, listen, guys, we need to thrash this out, or are you happy for it to maintain a sort of frosty relationship between the two?
They are very intelligent and very experienced drivers. You don't sit them down like pupils, because I don't feel like a head teacher. So what we are having is regular discussions, and we're having that every day in order trying to optimize. But then in the heat of the moment, you're always going to have one driver which is who's happy and the other one not happy. I can remember 14 days ago, the other blonde guy was very, very, how did you call it, disgruntled?
Yes.
And this is what we have to manage to a certain degree, let the emotions cool down. And on Monday, the sky is bright again.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, were you ever worried? You had the Red Bull was catching at the end. Are you still got one eye on Red Bull and a challenge later on in the season from them?
Yeah, it shows that you cannot rest and you cannot be complacent. It's an interesting new situation, because actually we let the two guys race each other, which as an effect had that the tire was coming towards the end of its life at the end of the race. You combine that with an incident like Lewis's eye losing 4 or 5 seconds, and here we go. You have Ricciardo suddenly being on our tail. He was doing mega lap times in the middle sector, and we have all reasons to continue to push and not to be complacent.
Thanks, Toto. Best of luck with your diplomatic skills this week. I'm sure you'll master that.
Lewis, well, you're still rubbing your eyes. Tell us how they are.
It's fine. It's fine. I can
So
see.
what happened?
I just got a bit of dirt in it. It's fortunately it cleaned up.
But it impacted your race quite significantly.
It did, but I don't think it made any difference to really the outcome.
You did have Daniel Ricciardo bearing down on you at the end there, and how much of a concern was that he might actually take second place from you?
Well, whilst he was closing the gap, it was a serious concern because I was driving with one eye basically. So I knew that he would get me at that unless it cleaned up, and eventually it cleaned up with 3 or 4 laps to go. So I was unable to, position myself in the best way that I could stay ahead.
Can you tell us about communication that you've had with Nico since the race? Have you talked directly to each other?
No.
Do you not think communication is important if you're going to kind of clear up any bad feeling?
No.
You don't think it's important?
Well, I mean, he spoke. He said his thing. I mean, we had a meeting with Toto and Nicky, and I said what I need to say in there, and he said what he needed to say, and that's as far as we need to go, really.
In terms of the radio messages, we heard you say that you knew that they wouldn't bring you in, but they should have done.
Yeah, I mean that's my opinion. I think when I was at McLaren, we had 2 strategists, and the strategy would be for my strategist to get the best overall result for me. And unfortunately, we have one strategist who's amazing. He's absolutely amazing, but unfortunately, the role in the team is that he has to look out for number 1, and the second guy comes second. So I know from the get-go that I have less of an opportunity to win the race. So that's why I need a miracle at a track like this. So that's why I was thinking, an opportunity came where I could have come in that lap. So when I was at McLaren, I would have been pulled in on that lap, and that may have given me the smallest advantage to have perhaps jumped over the safety car. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. I'll work it out with the team.
It does matter, though, doesn't it? Because it means that you came second in this race. So ultimately, it matters very much.
Yeah, but I don't think it was that. Ultimately, they always make great decisions, and I have to go by what the team do. But I think in these races, you need every opportunity. You need to grab every opportunity you can. And the start was gone. Then I was closing up, getting ready for the pit stop area, and then the safety car came out. And really after that, there was no opportunity.
So where do you go from here with Nico? And going into Canada, that's going to be a circuit that does suit the raw pace of the Mercedes, so it's a great opportunity for you guys. But what about in terms of mending bridges with your friend?
Well, we're not friends. We're colleagues, and we'll work to get the team as many 1-2s and points as possible. Does
the fact that you've known each other for a very long time not count for anything in terms of friendship?
Maybe.
Well done today. Well, Nico, congratulations. Hello. Perfect start. Second win here, and with it, the lead in the championship. You must be delighted.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm very, very happy. Really awesome. Thank you again back home to everybody who's built this amazing car. It's really unbelievable. Even on such a unique track like Monaco, to be so quick with this car is just great, and it's a great pleasure. And again, 1-2 for the team. Brilliant.
Does the bad feeling with your teammate take the shine off the victory in a way, though?
Well, between us, there's not really bad, and I don't want to comment about Lewis in any way, but I can just say that for me, I'm very, very happy, just like I was last year. It's very exciting, and he did a great race. He pushed me very, very hard, and I had a very, very tough mid-race because all of a sudden I had to save a lot of fuel, and I had to completely change my driving style with him in my gearbox, and that really was not easy, and I'm glad it all worked out.
So, do you consider yourself to still be friends with Lewis?
We're always friends. We've always been friends, but friends is a big word. What exactly is friends? We have a good relationship. We work well together. Have our moments, but we know each other since so long. So the advantage is that we've always had moments, and then just discuss and move on.
Because he does seem to be fairly emotional. He says that you're not friends, you're teammates, but the history perhaps maybe counts for something.
For sure, we know each other since so long. Since we're 13, we're teammates back then, and that always it's a base,
So, have you spoken directly to each other? Are you still communicating?
Yes, of course.
For the best of the team, I'm sure.
Yes, as we've always done in the past. We always, when there's some more difficult moments or whatever, then we sit down, talk about it, and move on.
And Canada will surely be a great circuit for you guys as well.
I hope so, yes. I mean, the engine is spectacular this year, the car also, but the engine will come even more to play there in Canada, and for sure that will be a good track for us.
Congratulations, thank you.
Place up there in front of the garage, and good to see that both drivers are in there and they're smiling for the camera for yeah, there we go. Now, some have had better weekends than others. I don't know if you caught any of our earlier.
This place just has something magical, something special about it.
This is the Everest for a Formula One driver, the best track in the world to master. When you fall from the sky, you...
It's Saturday in Monaco, and arguably the most important qualifying session of the season. So calm down from the cloud. Calm down.
Hamilton loses out in the final sector. Rosberg's still got the edge. Hamilton responds. I've been loving you. That's too deep, that's too deep. Rosberg created his own pole position and spoiled our fun.
Classic Monaco Grand Prix, 78 laps coming up. It's lights out and away we go, and it's a decent start from Nico Rosberg.
No, it's a car problem for Sebastian Vettel.
He had an electrics problem yesterday. Sebastian Vettel is down in 11th place. The two Mercedes away and into the distance. This is by far not over yet.
He's just really struggling to keep the lid on his frustration and his anger, isn't he, Sebastian Vettel? Oh, Lewis got in there a little bit hot on the brakes.
There's a lot going on for Monaco here today. And Hamilton, definitely, Martin, catching Nico Rosberg.
Rosberg leads by 2.1 seconds.
I can't see on my left eye. I got some kind of dirt in my eye. Hamilton has problems with vision. You're catching him very quick.
And Nico Rosberg, the man who's finished second in the last 4 Grand Prix, comes home now to hit the jackpot in Monaco and win the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yes! Thank you very much, everyone.